G'day guys, Jason here. Welcome back to my fish room. So in this week's video, the very last video of the year 2020, I thought I should compile a top 10 list of my favorite achievements of the year. So let's get straight into this week's video. Inhabiting the rockwork, they chase each other around occasionally. I'm pretty sure the two larger ones that you can see at the front there are males, just from the look of their dorsal fin. It's very, very pointed. But they're doing quite well. They're all eating and they're in quarantine at the moment, obviously. So they're going to be in here, like I said earlier, for about 6 to 8 weeks, just to make sure they don't have any diseases, and that should give me enough time to get an idea of how they're going. And then I'll introduce them into the system, then put them in one of the 2x2 foot tanks, and I'll move out. I'm thinking I'm going to move out one of my breeding pairs of Regani into a different tank and put these guys into the system in one of the 2x2 cubes. So they got a larger swimming area and much more stable water parameters for these guys. So guys, we're at the club and the auction's about to start in a couple of minutes, so we'll get in there and hopefully the fish do well.
47, we've got 4 Neolamprologus Ocellatus old, nice looking fish, around about the 2.5–3 centimetre mark. Start at $40 for gold Ocellatus, $40 anywhere. Nice looking fish, 40 I've got inside, looking for 42. $40 on top, $40, 42 up the back, 42, 44, $44, 46, 48, $48, going once, twice, sold $48.
After that.
$20 on the side, looking for 22. $20 I've got, $20 going once, twice, sold $20.
Yeah, there's at least 30 plus. Yep, beautiful. Let's start $20. $20 I got. 22 I have. 22. 22. Good level 24, 26. $26. 26, 28. $28. $30 at the back. 32. $32. 32. Go, let them go. 32 going once. Twice. Sold. $32.
You alright?
Possible 3 pair and then possibly 3 boys, 3 girls. Start me at $40, $40, $40 I've got at the side, looking for 42. 42 up the back, 42 I've got, $42 once. 44, 46. Is that 50? 50. 50 I've got, 55. 55, 60. 65, 55, 70. $70 I've got, $70 going once, twice, sold $70.
Lot number 29.
Oh, what a night.
6 in the bag this time. 6 in the bag, let's start at $50 for 6 long fin Bristlenose. $50 I have over. These are not the ones all common long fin Bristlenose. $50 for 6. 55, 60, you want to go 60, $60 I have, 65, left, 65, 6 in the bag, remember, 65 I have, I'll let them go at 65, 65 going once, straight back at you. $75 I have over here to the left, $75 look for 80. $75 going once, twice, sold, $75.
But as you can see in here, I have my male Ventralis Chaitika. The interesting with this tank at the moment is that the dominance of males has shifted. When I bought the Ventralis, I bought 4 in a bag at the auction, obviously unsexable at the size that they were, and with my luck, I happen to have 3 males and 1 female. Obviously with mouth breeding cichlids, you want to have a ratio of 1 male to say 3 females. That would be perfect. But as luck would have it, I happen to have the opposite ratio. Like I said, the interesting thing with this tank is that the dominance of the Ventralis Chaitika has shifted since I moved the female out of the tank. This male here you see displaying right now was the least dominant male of the 3 Ventralis that I had. Basically overnight the dominance had shifted. Now he's displaying to another male. It's just that that male is so subdominant that he looks like a female. And he's trying to spawn with him because he is silver. The female Ventralis are silver. Now I know the dominance had shifted because I know which male she spawned with, even though I missed the spawning event. I have sold my first fish from my fish room, so I'm really stoked about that. And what I've sold is my largest gold oki fry. They are beautiful little fish. You can see they're getting their golden colour now that they're starting to mature up, and they've got a beautiful purple iridescence on their bodies. These guys are going down to Melbourne. I didn't really intend to ship fish, but I'm going to do it on this occasion. It was quite the runaround with a couple of shipping companies, but I found that Toll do ship fish, and one of their sales reps has really been helping me out with the process. Unfortunately, yeah, I do have to drive to the airport, but that's fine. I'm happy to do it on this occasion. But I can't think of a better way to celebrate completing the creation of this video than reaching the milestone on my YouTube channel with 500 subscribers. Calvus is not to be confused with the similar looking Altolamprologus Compressiceps. When viewed side on, Calvus have a more slender or bullet shaped body, while Compressiceps typically have a higher and somewhat stubbier body. Altolamprologus Compressiceps typically also have a steeper forehead and a somewhat shorter face. Also, they may sometimes lack the iridescent spots that Calvus exhibit, but this isn't always the case. And with all these features I'm describing, sometimes Calvus can exhibit features that Compressiceps have, and sometimes Compressiceps can also exhibit features that Calvus have. The 2 new stands that I needed. Me and my cousin Adam built these yesterday, and in this video I'm going to show you how we built these 2 stands. So these stands are going to hold the 12 aquariums that I got for free that were in last week's video, and you can watch that video right here, where I discuss how I scored 12 aquariums for free. So, but yeah, in this video I'm going to discuss how me and my cousin built these stands in the one day. 2 stands in the one day. I didn't think we'd get them finished, but we did. So I was really surprised about that. In the video, I'm going to talk to you guys about how much it costs to build these 2 stands, in the materials and what we needed to build them, and obviously how we did it. So it's going to be a pretty in-depth tutorial about how we build aquarium stands, aquarium racks, fish tank stands, whatever you want to call them, and I really hope you guys find it informative. And here are the tanks, guys, all 12 of them. That's what the tanks look like from the top. They've got wide sides and smallish lids. They've also got corners cut out for like airline and whatnot. I think they're for the under gravel filters, whether that's a massive hazard for fish jumping out of those corners that won't get covered, so I'm going to have to get those covered myself. So these tanks need a bit more cleaning. We've still got some gravel from the shop that I got them from, but they're not bad for free. So guys, some good news with the first tank. My white Altolamprologus Calvus breeding pair have spawned again. This is the 4th time they have spawned. After the first 2 successful spawnings, most of you would know that the 3rd spawning was a dismal failure where I lost almost pretty much all the fry. If you haven't seen that video where I discussed that, you can watch it right here. But this is the 4th spawning of this breeding pair that I have, and thankfully I've managed to get them to breed relatively quickly after that 3rd attempt was a failure. The way I did that was feeding the female where she hangs at the back of the tank, pretty much putting food right directly in front of her, helping her fatten up relatively quickly for this 4th spawn. They normally take 3 to 4 months between each spawn. This one was pretty much a month. So it's Sunday morning and I've just finished breakfast, walk into the fish room and I noticed this trickle of water on the ground. And I noticed it wasn't coming from any tanks. Within an hour or so of taking this first photo, this is what my fish room looked like. It's insane. It was well past my ankles deep. Thankfully, the water didn't make it into my home. The fish room actually sits lower than the rest of my house. So for that reason, tanks flooding that could happen at any point. That's why I chose this particular room in my house as my fish room. So we had about 600 mil of rain in 3 days and Sydney was flooded. So it's all good now. The drainage issue is fixed and my fish room is now dry and clean. Because unfortunately, I lost all 32 fry that I had in that hatchery. I think I worked out why. They were doing really well about a week, maybe 2 weeks after they had hatched and were free swimming in the tumbler. I noticed all they were eating were the microworms. They weren't accepting any other food, no matter what I put in there. 3rd batch of Altolamprologus Calvus, my white Calvus. And I caught 95 fry out of that spawn. And it was the largest spawn that they've had out of the 3 spawns they've given me. And unfortunately, over the span of a week, I lost pretty much all of them. I've only got about 4 or 5 fry left. So guys, the last tank in the fish room getting an update today is my white Calvus tank, my Altolamprologus Calvus. I actually thought she was dead somewhere underneath the rocks. I almost got to the point where I was going to pull the back rocks out just to see if she was dead somewhere. I thought she was gone for sure. Then I realised she was in the male shell. She was in the shell that she's facing right now. And I thought, wow, they've spawned. They've never behaved like this before. The male would flare his gills at me whenever I walked up to the tank. Usually he'd dart straight into one of those shells whenever I walked up to the tank, but now he's being really aggressive towards me. And yeah, the female was in the shell. I could see her moving back and forth in there, and I suspected they had spawned. Now with Calvus males, generally they eat fry, and they are known to eat their own fry. And I just want to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas, have a happy holidays, and a very happy New Year. It's been a tough year, 2020. We really hope the next year, 2021, will be a lot better for all of us. So please guys, stay safe out there, and I hope the new year brings us a whole lot more joy than this year has. I just want to thank each and every one of my subscribers as well for their support over the year. It's not easy to commit to producing a video every week, but you guys really do motivate me to keep doing that and producing new and hopefully informative content for you guys every Tuesday morning, 7 AM Sydney time. So anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed this final video of the year. If you did, please hit the thumbs up, comment and subscribe buttons. As usual, I would always appreciate it. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap this video up now. Thanks heaps for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one next year. Bye.